What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And I'm just about to head off to bed, and obviously we just had the reset and we have our stamina. I was able to reach level 80 this time, and I was able to build a team that was able to get the job done. I got very lucky because I did make a little bit of a mishap in the middle of the run, but we're not going to do that in this video today. So let's go ahead and jump into it. You know, no mucking about. We are going to jump into it. Now, I will say that the team that I do build, look, it's not accessible. I really hate it, but it's not really that accessible just due to the fact that it does have some very unique supports that not too many people will have access to, unfortunately. So I do apologize for that. I'll see how things go, because especially when we get to level 100, it's going to be pretty rough, and I think a lot of people have kind of established that this is going to be a pretty rough one to get, because not too many people are pulling for these units, you know? Let's have a look and see what we're doing here. What's our aim here? So we do have some Saki, so we could level up Zora again. We could go for Roger or Odin. That is a possibility. One thing I will say is that some people have had a really good idea, and something that I wish I would have adopted from this PKA, but it's something that I'm going to think about moving forward, right? Where, yeah, the final boss Rayleigh, as someone who has a pretty established account, I feel comfortable going to these higher and higher levels. But as for these mid-map bosses, people have realized that when you actually beat these bosses, you have a really high chance of landing on tickets now. So people, what they're doing is they're not even leveling up their Roger or Odin. They're keeping them at very, very low levels so they can just auto the fight, clear it very easily, and get a few turtle drops, get some tickets, and then progress to the end, and then they can focus on the boss. I think that's actually a really good way to approach these mid-map bosses moving forward, until they buff the amount of turtles you get, because at this current point in time, getting these bosses to level 150 probably isn't the most wise decision ever. But of course, for the final boss, you do need to get the boss to level 150 to achieve all of the rewards. If you just want all the super cola, I believe you only have to get him to level 80 or level 90 or something. So it's actually pretty achievable, I think, for most people. But anyways, I digress. Let's actually think about what we're doing here. I think we're probably going to challenge Roger, and I guess we'll hit Zora up again, and then we'll go for the favorites box. That's probably what we'll do. Let's hit up Nami, and we'll go ahead and give her some tangerines, so we can select 2 at the next treasure chest. That'll be pretty cool. Let's go ahead and pick up a treasure chest. And I mean, I haven't leveled up Usopp at all. I guess I'll grab the 2 statues for now. Of course, as later on, deeper into the season, we're going to have these statues leveled up, so it's not really that big of an issue. I am going to challenge Roger, but I am not going to increase his level. I'm going to keep him at level 61, and we'll just see how that goes. Alright, so stage 3, we just ordered the first 2 stages because, you know, it's not really that difficult at all. Let's go ahead and use the double swap. Of course, you guys would have seen this exact clip from when we took on the previous run through against level 60. That's fine, no issues at all. Gonna reach Rayleigh Gaban. We'll switch one of the captains. We'll use the Nami special. We'll use the Usopp special. And this is what we're saying. Like, this is like it's not difficult, but it's just more of an annoyance because, you know, you could just keep this boss at really low levels and just auto the entire way through and not have to worry about it. I mean, realistically, we probably could do the exact same thing here and it wouldn't really be that big of a deal. I mean, these bosses don't have that much HP. I mean, still a decent chunk though, like there's 10 million still, right? So the boss does still have a lot of HP. At least for auto, but you know, if we're talking about like you just first encounter them, like level 20, level 1, even level 30 or something like that, like these bosses are going to have like hardly any HP, and it's really not going to be that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and just launch the Luffy special. We probably could just one-tap with Luffy, but I feel like it's probably safer just to remove the paralysis, just to be a bit safer. Yeah, we definitely could have killed just with Luffy by himself, so no issues at all. We'll go ahead and move on with the rest of the map. Alright, so what do we get as a reward for clearing this PKA boss? We do get 2 tickets, which is exactly what we wanted. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So as we said, we're going to hit up Zoro, which is going to increase our level just a bit. We're going to just pick up the Sanji statue. I'm not really too fussed about picking up the favorites for Sanji at the moment. And we'll go ahead and raise the boss level. And then we'll go ahead and pick up these favorites along the way. We'll go ahead and replenish some of that Saki that we just went ahead and spent. And another 4 Saki. Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. So now we've reached the final boss, Rayleigh. So let's go ahead and showcase what team we're actually going to be using today. So this is the team that we have here. Now we have to actually use a non-boosted unit for this team in particular. I did try finagling some of the units around and it just didn't work in my favor at all. So this is what we have here. We're still using Luffy Ace as the captain because the resisting of special reverse is so good. We are using Rayleigh Gaban still as a sub because their super swap is what we will need on one of the stages. Obviously, Koala and Robin as the friend captain, no surprise there. Sanji's really cool as well because he's a relatively high booster, plus his special may come into play if we're at really low HP thresholds and we need to recover some HP. Sanji's able to do that, plus we can have the support of this Vivi. Now these 2 supports on the team are very important, the Cornelia and whatever his name is, and the Vivi. These 2 supports will mean when we reach the final stage, we actually remove 5 turns of threshold, like by itself. So that's obviously really good. If you don't have that, obviously you will have to change these units around. Obviously replacing Sanji with something that allows you to get rid of the threshold is probably what you'll have to do. And yeah, we're using Robin Jinbei, a non-boosted unit, but they just help on the last stage a lot. Get rid of attack down, get rid of damage reduction. Just a really useful unit. So let's go ahead and jump into the team. So the first thing is we actually want to make sure we can get the super swap of Rayleigh and Gaban. We need that for stage 3, and that's what I screwed up when I was first trialing this team out, is I actually didn't get the super swap on stage 3, which means I had to stall. Luckily still made it through. But this is something that has changed with level 80 from the previous video, is this debuff. Certain slots will appear and receives damage at the end of the turn. So we'll go ahead and see what happens, but from this icon, it looks like block slots will appear, and when we consume a block slot, or at the end of every turn, we end up taking damage, which is obviously not a good thing. So let's go ahead and start using our swaps. We're going to swap with Rayleigh Gaban. We need them ready. Another thing is we could probably switch into Robin on stage 3, so we can actually switch you into Jinbei, and then obviously Jinbei allows you to change adjacent slots into matching, which is pretty good. But we actually don't want to take too much time here because we need to make sure that we can actually reach the stage with a decent HP threshold still. Switching with Rayleigh again. Kill the guys on a 1-turn cooldown. Yes, I said kill the guy. Oh my god, I screwed up so bad. I said kill the guys on the 1-turn cooldown, and my targeting just did not go the way I wanted it to go, so that's kind of annoying. We did get a matching slot on Jinbei, which is very good for us. And you do see that our Ace actually had an empty slot, which is very weird. So I assume that's one of the slots that can appear due to this random debuff that's been applied here. I'm going to switch with Rayleigh Gaban again, and that should allow us now to just move on. Now, we don't really need the super swap of Koala and Robin yet. However, that probably will be something that we'll be looking forward to when we reach level 100. I'm pretty sure we will need their super swap at that point. And at this point here, we can just go ahead and consume that recovery slot because why not? So now we get to the boss stages. So Damalo Black, he pretty much does the exact same thing, except that they're slightly enhanced. So now the bind is going to play a part here, which is why we want the super swap of Rayleigh Gaban, because their super swap will remove 4 turns or 3 turns of bind and paralysis. I think it's 4 turns. It is 4 turns of bind and paralysis. So we can use their super swap to remove those debuffs, which is good. Then we can use the switch effect of Jinbei just to have, you know, more matching slots, and also have Robin because she's a dex unit, which works out quite well. Use the switch effect of the Robin and Koala to get a color affinity boost, and then the switch effect of Luffy. And because we're switching into Luffy, we get obviously the chain boundary. But the other thing is that Ace as a captain only boosts free spirit and shooters, but Luffy as a captain boosts free spirit and fighter characters. So this means that Robin on the team is actually boosted, the sub Robin I'm talking about. So this actually works out quite well. And let's go ahead and just get the knockout. So let's do it. Easy. Super good damage there. That's awesome. So now moving to stage 4, and we have Sentomaru. Now, unfortunately, once again, we're going to be inflicted with the pain debuff, and that is so annoying. I hate this debuff so much. Essentially, we talked about it in the last couple of videos, but anytime you perform an action that allows you, an action that you require a swipe, so activating a special, super types, switch abilities, anything like that, it takes damage off of your HP. It's so annoying. But at this point here, you can see we're afflicted with despair. We had ways to get around it last time. This time, though, we're going to be using Uta. Uta is really nice because she allows us to remove the bind despair. She also removes attack down, which is kind of cool. More importantly, though, it will just allow us to get a chain boosting effect. That's the main reason why she is there. So we can also go ahead and switch into Jinbei because we want to have int characters that are hitting hard. And we also want to go ahead and use the switchability of Robin and Koala. So we get a color affinity boost, and we want to use the special of Robin and Koala, which is going to give us an orb boost, and then obviously when we reach the last stage, we get a color affinity boost added once again, because we already have a color affinity boost activated. So this content is really tailor-made for Robin and Koala, really. So if you have them, it's going to make things a lot easier for you. And also removing the barriers is a really, really big thing too. At this point, you see that HP is quite low, so we can actually go ahead and use the Sanji special if we want. I actually haven't seen the special animation of this Sanji yet. Oh, so of course, this is returning to Sabaody, and then Sanji seeing the waifus for the first time. So it gives us a bit of HP back, which is kind of cool, I suppose. And now we're good to go, so we can do any tap timings that we want. Because matching slots are not going to matter, because we're going to use Luffy Ace in the next turn, so let's just go ahead and kill. Easy. Plenty of damage there. No issues whatsoever at this current point in time. And now we reach the boss stage. We still have the orb boost from Robin Koala. We're going to have color affinity from Robin and Koala. And we're going to have an attack boost from Luffy Ace, which is fantastic. Special reverse. Luffy deals with that. There is Threshold. 5 turns of Threshold. And this is where the supports are going to come in. So we've got the Cornelia. And then we also have the Vivi. So remove the Threshold completely. There is still the damage reduction, so we're going to use the Jinbei and Robin special, which will remove that for us, as well as give us a base attack boost, get rid of the attack down on the crew as well, which is very important, and then the Luffy Ace special, which is going to give us the attack boost. And it does give a conditional boost, but the conditional boost doesn't actually work because we can't inflict the enemy with the ignited status, which is unfortunate. But I think we're good to go. This should give us enough damage to get the knockout, so let's get it. Boom, there we go. It didn't even have to attack with our dex units at all. So this still would have had quite a lot of damage output to be added onto this team. So this team actually works pretty well. But of course, if you don't have those supports, which I know many people won't have, then the team will have to get a little bit of a makeover. Sanji will have to probably be replaced with a unit that deals with damage threshold. Or does Robin Jinbei deal with threshold as well? I think they actually do. Now that I'm thinking about it right now, I'm pretty sure they do. So Robin Jinbei really just deal with a lot on that final stage, which is ridiculous. And this time around, we got 7 drops once again, which is good. So, I mean, it seems to be working so far, and we'll be carrying this until we reach boss level 100, of course, and we'll see how things go following that. So picking up the last copies of Sanji that we needed too. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today, and if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.